Let's talk about President Donald Trump. And where do we even begin to drink from the glorious fire hose of Trumpnificence spewing 24/7 from the White House? Well, how about we begin here?
On Friday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that puts a 4-month hold on all refugees settling in the U.S., a 90-day ban for visitors from 7 Muslim-majority nations, and a block on all Syrian refugees indefinitely.
As world leaders condemned the ban, Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull leapt into action to ensure that the US wouldn't ban the Muslims that we banned first.
I had a constructive call with President Trump yesterday. We also discussed the resettlement arrangement of refugees from Nauru and Manus, and I thank President Trump for his commitment to honour that existing agreement.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a Liberal backbencher to know that what Malcolm says goes away.
The White House has backtracked on a promise to honour a refugee deal with Australia. Officials now say the president is still considering if it'll go ahead.
It'll be a blow to the PM, but if he'd seen the official photo of his phone call with the president, he would have known that the body language wasn't good. Yes, Prime Minister, and perhaps you'd like to step aboard Bird Force One. So how did the president's executive order work out?
There was chaos and confusion at airports today as President Trump's immigration crackdown took effect.
Not even those charged with executing the order knew what it said until it was signed. As a consequence, you had chaos here.
We were totally prepared. It's working out very nicely. You see it at the airports, you see it all over. It's working out very nicely.
Yeah, see, it's working out very nicely. It's just the media who are out to get the president, like their biased reporting of his inauguration.
These shots, taken from way back, showed the packed expanse of the Capitol on the day Barack Obama was sworn in, compared to the much sparser crowd today.
It was certainly smaller than Obama in 2009, which was the biggest inauguration we've ever seen.
Yeah, well, look, who cares? A lot of things were bigger in 2009. Swine flu, Jason Mraz, the Arctic. Team Trump refused to engage in petty media squabbles about crowd sizes.
I don't think ultimately presidents are judged by crowd sizes at their inauguration.
The point is not the crowd size. The point is the attacks.
No one had numbers. We know that from the platform where the president was sworn in to 4th Street holds about 250,000 people. From 4th Street to the media tent is about another 220,000. And from the media tent to the Washington Monument, another 250,000 people. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period.
Stop talking about the numbers. There are no numbers. Here are the numbers. Huge. Period. Now that we can all stop talking about the numbers, it's time to start presidenting. First stop, the CIA.
But we had a massive field of people. You saw that. Packed. I made a speech. I looked out. The field it looked like 1.5 million people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
OK, sure, he mentioned the crowd, but you know, that speech got a standing ovation from the 10 million people in the room. Now, having proved his point, it was time for Fox News, where no one has to prove anything.
I had the largest audience, if you add the television, you add all the sources, the largest audience in the history of inaugurations. I did. They try and demean it so much. OK, fair point. Could probably chill out about the crowd now. But, hey, let's try talking policy with America's ABC. We had a massive crowd of people. We had a crowd. I looked over that sea of people, and I said to myself, wow. And I've seen crowds before. Big, big crowds. That was some crowd. Yeah. Getting a bit weird now. Can you just talk about, I don't know, one other thing before you finish this interview?
And just before we leave, the president tells us he wants to show us just one more image.
One thing this shows is how far over they go here. Look how far this is. This goes all the way down, all the way down. Nobody sees that. You don't see that in the pictures. But when you look at this tremendous sea of love, I call it a sea of love. It's really something special. Oh, Donald. Donnie, trumpet. If you wanted love, you have picked the wrong job.
But if you want crowds, you are nailing it.
Huge crowds gathered around the world to speak out against Donald Trump and his agenda.
Crowds and crowds of people at various airports around the country.
You can see for yourself the size of this crowd. It's a very diverse crowd.
Crowds filling Boston's Copley Square, Raleigh, Minneapolis, Philly, Washington, D.C., in airports and on the streets.
President Trump, relax. You're going to be one of the greatest crowd pullers of all time. All right, just don't read the signs too closely and don't expect it to always be a sea of love.
Trump!